Hi friends, welcome back to Neat with Bioscience. Today we will continue our discussion on glycogen metabolism. Okay, in the series of the lecture on the glycogen metabolisms, today's topic of discussion is regulation of glycogen metabolism. Yeah, in my previous few classes we had discussed the glycogen metabolisms. It involved mainly the two steps. One is the glycogenesis and second is the glycogenolysis. Okay, so what is glycogenesis? Glycogenesis, it is the synthesis of glycogen which takes place during the well-fed state. When we consume the carbohydrate rich meal, so extra amount of the glucose, it will be polymerized into glycogen and which is stored in the mainly into the liver and the muscle cells. Okay, so the glycogen is the storage form of the glucose. Therefore, it is also known as an animal starch that we had already discussed. And when there is a need during the fasting stage, when there is a need of the glucose, so the glycogen breakdown will take place and that is known as a glycogenolysis. So we can say that the glycogenolysis, that is the glycogen breakdown, will take place during fasting stage or in between the meals. Alright, so glycogenesis, it is the synthesis of glycogen from glucose to glycogen, that is glycogenesis, polymerization of glucose, and glycogenolysis from glycogen to glucose means the breakdown of glycogen into glucose, that is known as a glycogenolysis. Alright, so let's see when body needs to synthesize glycogen and when there is a need of the breakdown of the glycogen. Okay, so that switching between the synthesis and the breakdown is known as a regulation of glycogen metabolism. We had already discussed what is happening mainly in the liver and the muscle cell. First, if we take the example of the liver here, so first the glucose will enter into hepatic cells by two-way transporter, then glucose will convert to glucose 6-phosphate. This glucose 6-phosphate will convert to glucose 1-phosphate. Glucose 1-phosphate, it is then activated. The activated form of the glucose is a UDP glucose, and many such UDP glucose molecules, they will join together and it will synthesize this glycogen. Okay, so this step is known as a glycogenesis, that means the synthesis of glycogen. So glucose will polymerize into glycogen, that is known as a glycogenesis, and the breakdown of the glycogen, we know that during the breakdown of the glycogen, the individual glucose molecules will be removed in the form of glucose 1-phosphate, then it will convert to glucose 6-phosphate and finally into glucose, if it is a liver cell. So this reverse path is known as a glycogenolysis. This was our discussion up to last class, glycogen synthesis and glycogen breakdown. But what is the condition? What are the conditions where these steps are going to on and off, because this happens reciprocally. These two steps cannot take place simultaneously. When there is a synthesis, so glycogenolysis means breakdown will be stopped, and when there is a breakdown takes place, so glycogen synthesis will take place. So let us discuss the factors. Okay, so before that we will discuss here the two main enzymes which are involved during individual process. During the glycogenesis, that means synthesis, enzyme involved here is a glycogen synthase and branching enzyme. But branching enzymes, these are not important for regulation. So we will focus only on this enzyme, that is glycogen synthase. And same in the glycogenolysis, means in the breakdown, the important enzyme involved here is a name of enzyme is glycogen phosphorylase. Alright, and debranching enzyme. But the branching and debranching enzymes, these are not important in the regulation, so we will not write here. The important enzymes which are involved in the regulation of glycogen metabolism is glycogen synthase and glycogen phosphorylase. This is in the synthesis pathway and this is in the breakdown pathway. Okay, so glycogen synthase and the glycogen phosphorylase. So let us now start with the discussion. Three main things are important here. First, this pathway is regulated via allosteric regulation and second is the hormonal regulation. And if we talk mainly about the muscle cell, so there is also the calcium dependent pathways are there which will regulate the synthesis or breakdown of glycogen metabolism. So the first we will see the what is allosteric regulation. Allosteric regulation means what? When the compound will bind to the enzymes, the conformational changes will take place in the enzyme. Yeah, that means either the conformational changes will take place in such a way that will either increase the rate of reaction or rate of catalytic activity of enzyme or decrease the catalytic activity of enzyme. Okay, and the compound bind to enzymes via non-covalent interaction. Okay, so such compounds are this glucose and glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, glucose 6-phosphate and ATP. Okay, so let's see how. What is this pathway? Glycogen synthesis. When glycogen synthesis is required, when there is a lots of glucose or where there is a less glucose. Glycogen synthesis is required when there is a blood sugar level is high, blood glucose level is high. If there is a lot, so when the blood glucose level is high or when there is a sufficient energy, so at that times we don't require the breakdown. So this way this product will increase the synthesis and the breakdown depending upon the concentration. So if the glucose concentration is high, that means glucose 6-phosphate will be present in a higher concentration, and if the glucose 6-phosphate is present in a higher concentrations, and if we look at the one step ahead, this glucose 6-phosphate will then enter into glycolysis and Krebs cycle and will generate the ATP. So this cell, it is reaching the glucose concentration and the energy level is high. At that time the glucose will be stored in the form of glycogen, because at that time body don't need the energy. So this compound glucose 6-phosphate, glucose and ATP, this will act as a activator of glycogen synthase, and we can say that this compound will activate or enhance the glycogenesis, means glycogen synthesis, and this will negative regulate the glycogen phosphorylase. What glycogen phosphorylase is doing, it is important in glycogen breakdown. Okay, so if the glucose level is high, yeah, and the cell is rich in energy, so we don't need the breakdown of the glucose. Alright, so we can say that the glucose 6-phosphate and the ATP, it will act as a positive regulator for glycogen synthase, which will bind non-covalently and the regulation is known as the allosteric regulations, and this will act as a negative regulator for glycogen phosphorylase. Reverse will be the case. If there is a blood glucose concentration is less, and if ATP is less, means if ATP will be utilized, so it will be broken down into ADP and AMP. So if AMP level is high and the glucose concentration is low, that time body needs the energy, so that will stimulate the glycogen breakdown. Okay, so this is allosteric regulations. These are the positive regulator for glycogen synthase, and same compound are negative regulator for glycogen phosphorylase. And if cell is there is a high concentration of AMP, means cell is in a less energy state and the glucose concentration is low, then glycogen breakdown will takes place. This is all about the allosteric regulations. Then the next is the hormonal regulation. Two types of hormones are required. If the glucose concentration is high, then the hormone secreted is insulin. Yeah, we are very much aware of the this word insulin. This is very familiar hormone. So when insulin will be there, when the blood glucose concentration is high. Okay, glucose concentration is high, then the insulin will be there, and when the glucose concentration is low, so the hormone present is glucagon and epinephrine. Okay, so the presence of this enzyme, this hormone means if the insulin hormone is there, then that means the glucose concentration is high, and if the glucagon and the epinephrine is there, that means the glucose concentration is low. Alright, and when there is a low glucose concentration, we had already discussed, when there is a low glucose concentration, so breakdown pathway will be stimulated. Yeah, it will activate the breakdown pathway, and when there is a high glucose concentration, means if the insulin is there, the synthesis pathway will be activated. Okay, so before that, once again we'll write here the name of enzyme. Here is the glycogen synthase enzyme is there, and here is the glycogen phosphorylase. Okay, so let us suppose draw the structure of this enzyme. We had already discussed what glycogen synthase was doing. It was adding one by one activated glucose, that is UDP glucose, so and was forming the alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond, and that way it is elongating the chain. Okay, so if we block the hand of this glycogen synthase, yeah, suppose this is glycogen synthase, and if we block the hand of glycogen synthase, that means it will not add the glucose chain, that means it will not elongate the glucose chain, and it will not add the one by one activated glucose, that is UDP glucose. Yeah, because its hands are tied, it is blocked. This takes place when it is phosphorylated. That means the phosphorylation of glycogen synthase will inactivate this enzyme. Yeah, we can remember this way because its hands are tied. So glycogen synthase will be inactivated when it is phosphorylated, and when it is dephosphorylated, the enzymes will be activated. Okay, and the reverse will be the case, will happen here. If it is phosphorylated, so it is inactivated, and the reverse will be if it is phosphorylated, so it is in a active state. So two states are important, phosphorylated state and the dephosphorylated state. Alright, phosphorylation will inhibit the synthesis pathway, and here the phosphorylation will enhance the breakdown pathway. Okay, so let us consider if there is a less glucose concentration is there. When the less glucose concentration is there, we had already discussed the hormone present is a glucagon and epinephrine. Okay, so glucagon, it is present only in the liver, and epinephrine, it is present both in the liver and a muscle. So what will happen when the glucagon hormone will be secreted? Yeah, it will increase the level of cyclic AMP, which will activate protein kinase, which will activate phosphorylase kinase, and these enzymes will phosphorylate, means add the phosphate group to glycogen phosphorylase. And we had discussed glycogen phosphorylase, where it is present in the breakdown step. That means the presence of the glucose will activate the breakdown pathway. Okay, presence of the glucagon. Glucagon means when the glucose concentration is low, so it will increase the level of cyclic AMP, which will activate protein kinase, which will activate the phosphorylase kinase, and this phosphorylase kinase will add the phosphate group to glycogen phosphorylase, which is present here in a breakdown pathway. So the phosphorylated form, it is an active form, and the active form will switch this pathway. Which pathway? Breakdown pathway. Okay, and this protein kinase, when it is activated, this protein kinase will add the phosphate group on glycogen synthase. Okay, and the phosphorylated form of glycogen synthase is inactivated. That's why when the glucose concentration is low, so breakdown pathway will increase and this pathway will be switch off. Yeah, because the phosphate group will be attached, and we had already discussed that suppose the glycogen synthase, so its hands are tied with the phosphate group, so it cannot add the it cannot elongate the further chain. Okay, so the synthesis pathway will be stopped and the breakdown pathway will be enhanced. Okay, another enzyme is a glucagon is here in the breakdown pathway, glucagon and epinephrine, and when there is a high glucose concentration, means insulin hormone is there. So what will do? Insulin hormone, it will utilizes the cyclic AMP in the presence of via phosphoesterase. Via phosphoesterase, it will utilize the cyclic AMP. So if the cyclic AMP level goes down, that means it will inactivate the protein kinase, which will again further inactivate the protein kinase, and no phosphorylation will take place. If the no phosphorylation will take place, so this enzyme will become inactive. This enzyme is involved in the breakdown, so breakdown pathway will inactive. Okay, and protein kinase, if protein kinase is inactive, so it will not add the phosphate group, and this pathway will be enhanced. Okay, so this will take place in the presence of insulin. Okay, and one more thing is there, if we talk about the calcium. So okay, so here in the muscle cell, when there is a need of energy or when there is a fight and flight type of situations, then the intracellular calcium level will be increases. Okay, and that calcium level will increase the activity of these enzymes. So in that case, the breakdown pathway will be increased. So we had discussed the three type of the regulation: allosteric regulation, hormonal regulation, and the regulation in the presence of calcium. Okay, in allosteric regulation, non-covalently this glucose 6-phosphate and ATP will attach to the enzyme. Alright, and if the glucose concentration is high, synthesis will be takes place, and when the glucose concentration is low and the energy is low, at that time the breakdown pathway will be increase. Okay, and second was the hormonal regulations. Hormonal regulations, how it works? Via covalently binding the phosphate group to enzyme. Phosphate group will attach to enzymes via covalent linkage. So the phosphorylation will inactivate the glycogen synthase and activate the glycogen phosphorylase. Okay, so in glucagon case, breakdown pathway will be enhanced, and in if the insulin is there, means glucose concentration is high, the synthesis pathway will takes place. So this is all about the regulation of glycogen metabolism. Okay, I hope you have liked the video. If it is useful, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.